rising sun, and somehow you have me come undone. Dripping honey sky, you are my rising sun.
So, Best Girl Nova just got even better. Honestly, some of the best changes with this update, with the Kome and the Five Fates update, are the Arsenal UI changes, Mod Fusion, much easier, Caliban in a really good spot right now, Nova, and the fact that I can delete the Conclave terminal. Awesome. But Nova Prime, who is my most used Warframe and has been for a very long time, has had some incredible changes. A light rework is what they're calling it, but a damn good one nonetheless. Now, in my eyes, she is pretty much one of the best universal Warframes in the game. She is good in pretty much every scenario, every mission. She can slow enemies down for defensive missions. She can speed them up for exterminates. She can supply energy and health orbs now, can antimatter drop for trash clearing, and has a constant upkeep of 90% damage reduction. But TLDR of what the changes are, she can now switch between fast and slow molecular prime without needing negative power strength. Her null stars have way more to them, which means you're not as reliant on duration. Her molecular fission augment now allows you to have a constantly regenerating null stars, which means you can stay at 90% damage reduction all of the time. Null stars and molecular prime just bounce off one another so goddamn effortlessly. Effortlessly? Easy, I speak into English really good. Her passive now works like this. Enemies killed while slowed have a 15% chance to drop health orbs, and enemies killed while sped up have a 15% chance to drop energy orbs. This is absolutely incredible for synergy with Equilibrium equipped, which is on so many of our builds now since it was last changed. You could combine this with Synth Deconstruct and its health orbs, or the Galaxian with its energy mod, and you could have a floor absolutely littered with health and energy orbs, candy everywhere. Now, her Null Star is now recastable, allowing players to keep maximum damage reduction all of the time without relying on specific mods in order for you to be able to recast it. Power Strength now also boosts damage reduction per particle, making Nova more flexible in terms of modding for both strength and duration. 18 particles will still give you 90% damage reduction, but it's just easier for you now to reach it. Null Star's damage resistance also applies to your shield, whereas before it was just your health, and its damage type has been changed from slash to blast damage, but its blast damage has been doubled to 300 damage, I think it is. Now, her antimatter drop, it now follows your aiming reticle better, and players can now speed it up by tapping the ability button again after you have originally cast it. Simply cast it, shoot it a few times, then aim it where you want to send it, tap the ability again and drop that bomb. Now, its damage type has also been changed to blast, and it can absorb 5 shots in total for it to be fully charged. It's also now affected by line of sight for explosions, so enemies behind pillars, walls, things like that might not get hit by the explosion. Now, her wormhole ability, which is an ability that a lot of people will subsume off, now shows the 4 charges as blips on top of the actual portal and shows how many charges are left if people in your squad have already used that portal. Her Molecular Prime no longer needs negative strength for speed, although at the time of recording this, the speed version, that 75% speed version, was a little bit too fast, according to Pablo, and I think they mentioned that it is going to get a little bit of a change at some stage today. The bonus damage multiplier from Molecular Prime now applies to enemies with Overguard, as well as their health and shield, whereas before it was just health. And a Speed Nova will bypass crowd control restrictions, meaning you can give zoomies to Eximus units or Stalker Acolytes, who will then relentlessly chase you down. You can't slow them down, but you can speed them up if you want a bit of a challenge. Now, I haven't really changed my Nova build from the one I uploaded about a year ago until today, until this change. I've kind of reduced the duration just a little bit, but this is my build. So this is my current Nova Prime build. Ignore the amount of armor I have because I've got this amount simply because I've reformed her so many times. Growing power simply for more power strength. Power drift, again, I've actually formed this, which is why I can't put Prime Surefooted in here, which means I'd have to farm it again, but Power Drift will do for now. Prime Continuity for more duration. Umbral Intensify, Umbral Vitality, so that I can bounce them off one another. Primed Flow for more energy, but that one is just personal preference. I like having a big pool of energy in pretty much every frame I use. Constitution for more duration. Adaptation for damage resistance, Equilibrium because she is going to be dropping a lot of health and energy orbs, so it would be foolish not to be using that. And Molecular Fission simply because I want to have my null stars constantly regenerating, which this is going to allow me to do. Now, if you're looking at arcanes, you can bring whatever effect you want. For me, it's Molt Augmented to increase my ability strength, and of course Arcane Blessing to stack my health up as well. If you wanted, you could bring Arcane Energize or whatever you want in either of these two slots. Which means if you look at my abilities, Nullstar has 23 antimatter particles. You only need 18 for 90% damage reduction. Then when you move on to my antimatter drop, you'll see that it deals 360 blast damage, but to be fair, I don't really use this a whole lot. Then I am using Resonator for the simple reason this thing taunts enemies and takes a ton of damage away from you because they're too busy running around after the big disco ball. Then I've got my Molecular Prime, which has a duration of 11 seconds. The effect duration is nearly a minute. The vulnerability is 200%, but that's base, that's what it's going to be anyway. And the explosive damage is 1400 with a 10-meter radius. So that's my build. Pretty much I play her for fun. She's one of the warframes that I enjoy using the most, so it's not going to be a meta build for me. For me, it's more about chasing the fun than anything else. So Nova, while a lot of us will say she was already god tier, is pretty much the definition of that right now. With a strength and duration build, plus using her Molecular Fission augment, you'll always have, I guess, 90% damage reduction because each null star will give you somewhere around 10% each, and you'll have 18, 20 to 30 of them depending on your build. You'll only need to cast that ability once, then again you might not after that because the Molecular Fission augment is going to keep regenerating those. You're also going to be dealing double damage to everything in the vicinity because you're going to be priming them while also refreshing your null stars. On top of this, you're also going to be supplying yourself with energy orbs or health orbs depending on which Molecular Prime you're using for yourself and of course for your squad, which Equilibrium will of course just be eating them up. So she was great before, she's absolutely perfect now. But let me know in the comment section below what you think of Nova or Nova Prime now that she's had this little bit of a light rework, or how you've gone about modding your Nova, or what subsume you've put on her. I know some people use Gloom, some people will use Nourish. I kind of like having the big disco ball running around or rolling around, drawing aggro away from me. Either way, have a great day, have a great week, and as always, thanks very much for watching.
Blazing yellow eyes, you're my rising sun, and somehow you have me come undone, dripping honey.